my frustration, I don't know how old you guys are. The Big Ten always
We're really young.
loses. You're good.
Yeah.
Because your story that you just talked about how they took this year serious and last year, I've heard that 7 times.
Yeah, I know.
Between Woody Hayes, Bo Schembechler, Lord Carr, all these guys, the Big Ten, the 4 or 5 plays that need to do to win the game, the Big Ten just never does it. I don't know how you guys feel. It's like with TCU.
Well, I feel that you're misrepresenting what Ohio State's done.
Well, excluding,
Well, excluding what? A team for the Big Ten that actually won? I mean, they did win.
It just seems like the last few years, it just seems like the majority of the time when the Big Ten gets in these, excluding Urban Meyer, and I know Jim Tressel, but most of the time the Big Ten loses.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't exclude any. I don't know if you could exclude anything to make a point, but look, I remember growing up, okay, and we did live through the Bo Woody era. Hearing stories about how when Michigan went to the Rose Bowl one year, it was Disneyland and the beach and everybody, and the other year it was like a 2-a-days. Like you can try all kinds of different approaches. You just got to figure out, and maybe this is something Harbaugh needs to do if he's still there. Is what to do differently to bring out your best on the playoff. I'm gonna stop and say I don't think this is a crisis yet. I don't know if it really mattered what they did last year. Georgia was way better than Michigan, okay? This year, maybe there was something done wrong in the approach. I tend to think as much as we can complain about the Philly special, they had a pretty good day calling plays offensively. They scored 45 points. The mistakes that they made offensively very much cost them because they needed 52. Ultimately, the takeaway from that game is there's 2 catastrophic mistakes on offense that I think they kind of hurt themselves. And defensively, they got gashed on the run. Like, I all season long hadn't seen that. And credit TCU. I don't want to take away any credit from them because I think they're an exceptionally good football team.
Well, let's take a look at this also. The Big Ten got two teams in the college football playoff.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Michigan obviously lost by 6 points, had a chance to win on the final drive.
Mm-hmm.
And Ohio State had a chance to knock off Georgia with a last-second field goal.
Yep.
Okay, so has the Big Ten made some strides? I think they have. I mean, well, at least for this year. Every year is different depending on what your talent level is and who's leaving, who's staying. The transfer portal has really kind of made things interesting, and teams have benefited. I mean, Michigan definitely benefited from the portal to get there this year with the center and some other picks they had. And it looks like they're going to benefit from the portal next year. Hey, so is everybody else. All the good teams are going to try to benefit from the portal. So I think this is kind of it's a way to even things up a little bit. But, I mean, if you thought Georgia was going to blow away Ohio State, it didn't happen, right?
Nope.
That didn't happen. So, knowing that how things went this year, I think you could say that there are a number of teams that are up in that upper echelon this year, and they've got these 4 right that were in the college football playoff. And I think based on what Alabama did to Kansas State, I think you could say Alabama is deserving to be in that group of 5 as well. And then there might be a little bit of a drop-off. But, yeah, it's going to be SEC. It's going to be Big Ten. These are teams that are going to be there each and every year.
And I mean, next year's the last year of the 4-team format. It'll be interesting to see, how many Big Ten teams shake out in the playoff in the new format.
Well, and because in that new format, think of that. It's going to be 2 years from now. So you're going to have 2 years from now where these coaches that are coming in, that they'll have another year under their belt. They'll be, developing these players that they're getting right now. The Big Ten West is getting really interesting. And then you're going to add USC and UCLA to the mix too.
Yep.
So the Big Ten West is getting really interesting with the new coaches and the new blood that's coming in there now. The new teams that are coming in a couple of years. Who knows what college football is going to look like in 2025?
I'm hearing that they're bringing back the leaders and legends, and UCLA will be in the leaders, and USC will be in the legends.
Are you making that up?
Yes.
Okay.